Thank you, Gary. Um, so as Gary explained, I'm the program director. I've been in charge of the graphic design program since 2014. And as you also heard, I have a vast experience in the field working with different brands. So through that experience that I gained in the field, like that's how we sort of like have designed the courses, interacting with instructors, interacting with our advisory board so that they can help us like shape all of our curriculum, right? We talk about constantly with people in the field, right? Like at networking events, I attend design conferences, summits, webinars, where I interact with people from all different aspects of design. So this is our agenda for today. We're going to explain the graphic design environment, job opportunities, the curriculum, right? Like what courses are part of our program, and also courses for professional development. We're going to have a Q&A in the middle, just so that you have an opportunity to pose your questions and you won't forget those. Then we're going to talk about technology required for the program or for the courses. We're going to give you instructor information, the type of course format. We're going to present you with alumni work samples and also testimonials, and then we'll open it for Q&A at the end. So what do graphic designers do? Graphic designers use their skills to communicate ideas, inform consumers, and solve problems, right? Like designs these days not only need to be beautiful or aesthetically pleasing, they also have to be functional, right? They have to like cater to the user needs, cater to the person that is going to be using perhaps that application or the business cards or whatever you might be designing. So graphic and visual designers create visual concepts using computer software, such as Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign, just to name a few, in order to help others interpret the world around them through type setup, color, texture, images, and symbols. So these are a few tasks that graphic designers do, right? Like they do advertisements, they do branding, they do digital design, environmental design. Environmental design, it's in relationship to architecture, interior design, and graphic design. Think about, for instance, an airport or a hospital where people need guidance, right? So there's all that like system that graphic designers create in order to like guide people. Think about also like restaurants and bars and kind of like the graphics that are a part of that, bar or restaurant. From the menu to the wall graphics, napkins, like branding the space, and all of those different aspects are important for environmental design, as well as illustration, motion design, anything that it's like short videos that you see in social media posts, that's done by graphic designers. Like motion designers do brand related videos, right? Not the home type of videos that we like capture ourselves in our trips or cooking or doing this or that. These ads are a little bit more involved when it comes to like the brand targeting objectives and the color scheme, the typography, and all those different nuances of design. They also do package design. Think about anything that you find at the store, right? Like from a bottle of water to a chocolate bar, the bag in which your rice comes in, or the box of the cereal that you buy. All these different things are related to package design. Publication design goes into, like designing books, designing annual reports, magazines. And all of these elements these days are done for both, not only just print, but also digital, right? Like these days, we can also read the paper on our tablets or on our phones. Social media design, visual design, like aspects that are, in relationship to UI design, right? Like what people see on an interface, as you're seeing here on this sample on the left-hand side, the color scheme, the icons that are part of the navigation system, the typography, the layout, right? Like in this case, there are a bunch of like different charts. And so that's all in relationship to UI and visual design. And web design, like being able to have some HTML language background and CSS so that you have an understanding of how those web pages work, right? I'm going to show you here a couple of samples of branding. And Gary, let me see if you can see this screen where I have Thomas McNulty.
Yeah.
All right, let me walk you through here some samples of branding, right? And so like in this sample, by the way, Thomas is one of our instructors. He also works for the Academy of our university. And this is, like his sort of like a student work that have taken his courses. So you can see here like the logo development, like really quick going through this, like color scheme, you can see all the different colors and the icons for the brand. Here you can see like the spacing of the logo, the typography that it's used, the possibility of colors. Here are like the different values, right? Like hexadecimal number, CMYK, which stands for cyan, magenta, black, and yellow, and RGB values, which are red, green, and blue. And those are the colors that we're going to use, for websites or for printing, depending of the type of work. So that's one sample. Let me show you another one over here. This is sort of like rebranding EasyJet. So by the time that you finish the branding course, you will be able to design a standards manual, right? And the standards manual, it's what companies, it's sort of like, kind of like the Bible of the company, right? Like what are the different colors? What are the different typography? What font families are used? So here you can see a layout of a letterhead, an envelope, some buttons, some kind of like Slack for the brand, right? Here you can see some of the packaging, right, for the in-flight beverages and snacks. And so as you can see in this sample, everything for the most part is orange with neutral colors, right? Like black and white, and doing that reverse logo. And so you can see that in detail. The course like goes into explaining all of those different nuances of branding, right? Like, how do we not only do printed pieces and digital pieces, but also, like in this case, you're seeing the Luxor brand, and it goes into also helping support the design of the interiors of the car, right? And so like it gives you like all those specifics, like what to do with the logo, what not to do with the logo, the measurements, the spacing around the logo and the sometimes taglines, depending of what they're using it. So you can see, you were able to see in the sample above the interiors of the taxis. Now you can see the exterior over here. And I'm gonna go back to the presentation. Gary, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. So in illustration, for instance, in the Illustrator 1 class, you will be able to do not just learn how to like draw logos, but icons. And also in this case, there's an assignment related to um, a realistic illustration, a photorealistic illustration. So this is the final vector illustration. And you can see over here all the nuts and bolts that Jeff, in this case, designed for the course, right? Like these earpieces. And here you can see like the technical aspect of the drawing that, the regular person won't see. They will only see this, right? But behind the scenes, like we'll teach you like how to build those files, how to create the gradients, how to create the shadows, and all of those different aspects in terms of like coloration, in terms of the design of the construction of the item itself. So it can be anything really that you think about it. Like we will teach you how to do those different illustrations. And here, like this is where the course ends, right? But I wanted to show you here a sample of what gets done in the portfolio class, which from that original drawing, because you have the native file, you have all of the different assets, then you can create, in this case, a family of different members. In this case, all of them sort of like identified by a different color, and being able to tap into that aspect of, like identity and preference. Some consumers would like orange because that's their favorite color. Other ones would like yellow or blue, right? So like some designs, some ads were designed like as these billboards that you're seeing over here. And then we created sort of a small motion component with creating a GIF, right? And again, it can happen because you have all of those different native files. Here, I'm going to show you some samples of motion design. And this is Ivera Karpatyova's work. She is one of our guest speakers that comes and talks about motion design and things like that. So let's go to like here really quick, ESPN. And then you can see like all the different instances of like what type of work gets done in motion design, right? And like what you don't see like right here in these graphics is that these are a sequence of like probably 75, 100 drawings to create that movement that you're seeing. And the confetti, like all that comes in different layers, comes at different instances. the ball also, the football comes, as a separate layer. And then all that gets like put together in a software that is called Adobe After Effects. Let me see what else I can show you over here. Let's see, Google Swag. No, that's not motion. Hold on, let me go here, animation. The New York Times. So here, she loves sports. She's into sports, so a lot of her clients are sports based. Let me see over here, the athletic, another one related to football. So you have all of these different samples, and we're gonna share this presentation. The university will share this with you like in a couple of days. So you'll be able to go and peruse in all of these different websites that we're providing you with. For instance, over here, Thomas also like teaches packaging, and he will help you, like create the boxes. Those are called die cuts and die lines. And so like die lines are the structure of the box, and the die cuts is where a cut might happen within the box, right? He will teach you how to do the styling of the photo shoot and things of that nature. So here are really cool samples that you can see. Let's take a look on this sort of like different box design, right? With sort of like not your traditional square or rectangular box, but shape a little bit according to the brand needs. Here you can see a 6-pack, right? For this Porter brand. And so here is a sample of die cut, right? Like there's this Armistice beer, right? Like a full family, different flavors. And then here you can see the die cut. The die cut, it's normally done in order to show the interior of the what's inside the box, right? It doesn't have to happen all the time, but sometimes brands want to do that because they want the consumer to experience closely like what product is inside the box. So take a look on this other sample, also like the displayed unit. He will teach you also like how to build all those different aspects in a three-dimensional manner with software, but also like being executed and taking them to a shop where they can do that for you, right? Because we don't like that's a special equipment that only like high-end shops will have available, but that's what like people that are in the packaging industry, those are the tools that they use and those type of shops in order to get those desired outcomes. And so I wanted to show you a couple of those different, like tasks that graphic designers do. Let's talk about the competitive environment. So like graphic designers are in demand these days. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics projects a 3% growth rate for graphic designers from 22 until 2032. And that's about as fast as the average for all occupations. So the number of jobs as of 2022, they normally do this. The Bureau of Labor of Statistics do this a projection, a forecast in a decades long, right? So in 2022, there were 270,900 jobs created for this specific field in the United States. And by 2032, there will be almost 280,000 jobs created, right? That's the 3% growth rate that I mentioned above. And the number of jobs created per year, that's an average of 23,000 jobs, right? Those are the jobs that on a yearly basis get created. And as the time progresses, in order to hit the 280,000 jobs, then more jobs are created every year. Oops, sorry. The median annual wage, it's $59,000, and that's the median, right? The average. When you do some sort of like specialized design services, when it comes to graphic design, the median goes to $62,330. And the highest 10% of graphic designers make more than $100,000. And that's a little bit with, like years of experience, the company that you work for, and also the type of task that you're going to be doing for that particular brand, right? And so like those are the numbers in a nutshell for graphic design at the moment in the United States. So how will your resume stand out? So we recommend that you have a bachelor's degree on anything, right? Like it doesn't matter what the subject matter is, because then if you decide to like join the professional program in graphic design, then you have like those different job opportunities that are a part of the field, right? And so like that can be, like sometimes people start with a junior graphic design position, or they go directly to graphic design or production designer, production artist. There's a lot of overlapping with the user experience design industry. So I was explaining before that because we, the graphic designers, do a lot of those front-end components, we're able to work as visual or UI designers, as illustrator, information designer, a brand designer, a package designer, an interactive designer, a digital designer, an art director, and a creative director. Creative director is sort of like the culminating aspect of the industry. And why are we here? So we're here to meet our students' needs, and that comes in many different ways. Some people want to apply to grad school, and to apply to grad school, one needs a portfolio. So we'll help you like develop that portfolio, right? Some of you want a career change, and so by doing the program, and learning all of the different skills and all of the different aspects of graphic design, the students are able to change their careers. Some of you might come for career advancement or for professional development. Maybe you have been doing this for X amount of years and you need one or two courses in order to keep up with what is happening, right? Maybe update skills when it comes to software, or maybe going to specific aspects of graphic design that you didn't take at the time when you were, like initiating your career. And to develop essential graphic design skills, learn the theory behind graphic design so that you can apply that theory into your hands-on activities. Our model goes like hand in hand, mostly hands-on, but there's a theory behind that is going to explain to you and that is going to support your learning so that you can design successfully and you can design tastefully and also like functionally for that particular brand that you're designing. And in our field of graphic design, everybody needs a portfolio in order to enter the industry. So what does that mean? Is that like you don't only apply with your resume and your GPA to a position, you have to present a portfolio so that that hiring manager, that HR person can see if you have the skills that they need, right? And so that's the goal of the program, to help you design a portfolio, something substantial by the end of the program. So let's talk about our curriculum. It has 7 different required courses, and it takes 1 to 2 years is the average time to completion. It can be done on a part-time or on a full-time basis, and the program can be done on a full-time basis as little as 2 semesters. So if you are interested in doing that, you will take, for instance, 4 courses in the fall semester and 3 courses in the spring semester, right? The only thing is that we highly recommend you not to be working or to work just part-time to do the program on a full-time basis, because it is comprehensive and you're gonna need some time to dedicate to your assignments and to your outcomes, right? Because you're building that portfolio, which is essential to enter the industry. One important aspect that we have, that we decided since last year, is that we're including artificial intelligence in all of our courses. So we will teach you like software features that are related to AI, or sometimes we will allow you to use certain plugins or certain applications that you can use for the course. Every course is different in nature. And so like what the university has done is that there are policies individually course by course. So what might be kosher in InDesign might not be kosher for Photoshop, because they are executed with different software, right? And so just pay attention to those different policies and what the instructor is asking you to do, because again, there are differences in between courses and software. And so another important aspect is that we want to guide you with the AI aspects, so that when you finish the program, you know ethically how to use AI, and also it will give you a different edge from other competitors, other graphic designers that are applying for those jobs, that might not have, like an informed usage of artificial intelligence. In the meantime, because we're going to guide you through, and we're going to talk about openly, and we're going to use, like certain features of AI for the courses, then you can be also like that person that the hiring manager might be interested in you, because like they might think that you're able to, like coach or guide some other designers in the team, people that might have been doing this for a while, and they haven't had the time to learn, like nuances of how do you apply and how do you work with AI in graphic design. And so here are our required courses. There are 7, as I explained. You start with the visual design principles. We talk about all those different principles. and how are you gonna integrate all of those into making successful designs, right? When do I decide to do, for instance, symmetrical design versus asymmetrical design? Or when do I need to repeat certain element within my design so that I can apply repetition without being redundant and things of that nature? In Illustrator 1, we will teach you like how to use all kinds of different tools, but we focus on the pen tool because that's the one that is going to allow you to basically design and draw anything digitally, right? And so that's really important, but you will learn about color, about typography, and many more. In InDesign, you will learn how to set up multiple page documents. For instance, you can see here in number 3, like magazines, right? Like how do you set up a 100-page document or a 30-page document, depending of the needs of, like those future design tasks that you're going to be asked for the brands that you're going to be working for. Also, like, InDesign is used to lay out children's books, novels, annual reports, and things of that nature, right? Multiple page documents. In typography, which is number 4, you're gonna like learn how to work only with typographic elements, right? When you learn all of those different nuances, how do I create hierarchy with color, or how do I create hierarchy with, like a different family member, for instance, like bold or extra bold or ultra black, or how do I go from ultra black to ultra light? How do I manage my copy that is not, like done on bold or done in ultralight or light colors, because then that will interfere with readability, right? And so we'll teach you like all those technical aspects. It's nothing to do with the speed that you type or anything like that, but how do you marry like type and visual elements, right? So that when you learn how to manipulate type on its own, then you can integrate that type to graphic elements, as you're seeing over here on number 2 on the Looney Bin. Or how do you also like integrate that type, as you're seeing here on number 5, with the graphic element that it's behind, right? So there are all kinds of different practical tips and practical knowledge that we're going to give you so that those designs are successful. In Photoshop, you will learn how to work with different layers and doing composites, right? So that you can have like 20, 50, 5, 8, 10 different layers that are gonna like create this new design that, you didn't have at the beginning. And so, and that it will be seamless also, so that those different layers that you're gonna have, they're not gonna necessarily collide with one another. They're just gonna be sort of like integrated as a whole, so that it looks like a solid unit of design. Whether you are doing, like something with the Skype and an airplane and, like birds and clouds and, the rainbow or whatever it is, right? But it's all integrated as a whole unit, and it has the same sort of like, not the same color, but the same sort of like visual tone, right? That it has like a seamless experience that the eye cannot catch unless you're a super expert photographer or graphic designer that will be able to establish the difference in between those elements. So we'll teach you all those tricks. And then your course number 6 will be the web design with HTML and CSS3. And in this course, we'll teach you how to code a boutique website, 5-6 pages. And so like you will not need any software. You will only need text editor, but you won't use necessarily any coding software, right? So you can do it from scratch. The instructor will guide you through with different samples, different exercises, and then you might use like Photoshop to do photography enhancements before you bring that to the website. And if you need to design a logo, you might need Illustrator to design the logo to bring it onto that final website. And in the graphic and web design portfolio, like you will bring the 6 previous courses, right? Like all the outcomes. Every course is designed in a way that will give you a project as an outcome, right? However, that project doesn't necessarily mean that it will be 100% ready for portfolio, because in the portfolio course, you will edit, you will tweak, you will polish all of the different assets, and you will even design more assets that are going to be needed in order to create your full comprehensive solid portfolio that is going to show those either like grad school or potential employers that you have under your belt what it takes in order to continue either going to grad school or either like going for employment, right? The portfolio sort of like opens or closes doors. And so our idea is that by the time you finish the portfolio course, it will help you open doors rather than closing doors, right? But it all depends of you and the commitment that you have and the number of hours that you're going to put into developing each individual project. So don't think that you will design the portfolio at the end. If you decide to sign up for the program, start working in that visual design principles course. And as you move along with the courses, like think about excelling and designing with quality so that you'll have a portfolio, like a solid portfolio by the time you finish the program. It does not take one course. It takes, in this case, 7 courses to develop a really outstanding portfolio. But your journey basically starts on day 1, right? Like it's not going to be a journey of 12 weeks for the portfolio course. Your journey begins the moment that you decide to take the visual design principles course.
All right, so we're going to talk about courses for further advancement in the graphic design. So as Ivan mentioned, the program has 7 required courses. And these further advancement courses are basically preparing you to have a deeper knowledge and to explore other areas of interest. So we do have Adobe Digital Tools. This course consists of 3 different tools that's being used the most in the industry. So it involves with InDesign, graphic Illustrator, and Photoshop. So it's a crash course for anyone who has never used any of the software, or just for a refresh. We also have essentials of motion graphics, 2D animation and video editing, 3D animation, and VFX. So these 3 courses are good for anyone who's interested in interaction design. We also have illustrating children's books, and that is for anyone who wants to explore publishing. It could be online publishing, it could be publishing your physical book. We also have branding. So for anyone who's interested in branding, it could also helps you with branding yourself. for job hunting. We also have internship opportunities as well.
All right. When it comes to branding, we're bringing the course back, and that course will be taught by Thomas McNulty with great experience. Those were the samples that I showed you previously. And so sometimes, depending of demand, we offer courses. Sometimes we remove them, but that branding it's like basically paramount these days.
And we also have some courses in the further advancement for anyone who's interested in tapping into UX design, for instance. Essential User Experience UX Design is a good introduction course. We also have diagramming and prototyping for UX, and also user interface UI design for anyone who's interested in designing app or website. So in technology prerequisite, we recommend our students to have a laptop with a laptop in either Apple MacBook or PC with a 16 gig RAM. And we also recommend our students to get a membership, Adobe membership, which is $19.99 for any students. With that membership, it covers a lot of Adobe programs that's being software that's being used in the program. For instance, includes a Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Premiere Pro, After Effects, and many more for anyone who's interested in UX as well with prototyping tools. And now we are open up for any Q&A. So if anyone has any questions so far, you can post your questions in the chat box and we can answer them directly. And if you would like to speak up, you're allowed to as well. So just raise a hand or we can unmute you. There is a question. Is this available for UC staff?
Yes, the courses are available for UC members.
But
UC Berkeley.
you would need to speak with your supervisor.
Say that again, Gary. I couldn't hear.
The following question is tuition covered. Yes, it's covered, but you would need to speak with your supervisor about that. There's a form you need to fill out. I think that's all the questions we have, so we can move on with our presentation. So we're going to learn about our instructors. On the left, we have Dr. Shelley Grundler. She's currently a typography instructor. She's a typographic consultant and a creative learning strategist at Type Camp, and she teaches typography fundamentals. On the right, we have Tom Garrick. He's the creative director and educator at Garrick and Kelly Brand Development, and he teaches visual design principles and portfolio. We have Nicholas Gutierrez. He's currently a freelance photographer and educator at Nick Gutierrez Photography. He teaches Photoshop and Adobe digital tools. We have Steve Warner. He's an educator, trainer, author, and publisher at Adobe System Inc. He teaches Illustrator, InDesign, and Adobe digital tools. On the left, we have Julie Downing. She's a freelance illustrator, author, and educator at Julie Downing Illustration. She teaches illustrating children's books. On the right, we have Victoria Ariola. She's creative art director and educator at Ariola Creative. She teaches typography fundamentals. We have Thomas McNulty. He is an associate director and educator at the Academy of Art. He teaches branding and packaging. And we have Shoaib Ali Gurerish. He is currently a senior art director, a freelance animator and educator at Digitas. He teaches 3D animation and VFX. We have Ariel Gray. She's currently a senior graphic designer, art director, and educator at Gray Designs at the Academy of Art. She teaches visual design and typography. We have Ian Bowden. He is a motion designer and educator at Google, teaches explainer, videos, and sound design. We have Moses Juhas. He's a founder and visual UX designer at UMS Design Studio, teaches portfolio and visual design. And of course, we have our very own Ivan Trujillo. He's a program director, art director, consultant, and educator at UC Berkeley Extension. He teaches portfolio, visual design, and packaging. And we're going to talk a little bit about our different instructional types. So our program is currently obviously in remote learning. We have two instructional types, with one in fixed day online, and the rest of the courses are in live online. So with fixed day online, which the only course that we have is visual design principles. With that course, you have two different modalities, instructional types you can choose. With fixed day online format, courses have pre-recorded materials along with predetermined assignments and due dates, and you get access to the course materials anytime during the enrollment period. You would interact with your instructors and students through discussion boards, for an example, on Canvas, which is our learning management tool, and also email Canvas emails. And of course, we for the rest of the courses of the program, all the courses are in live online course format, which is a very similar to alternative to in-person courses with the exception of via Zoom. So typically you have live demos, lectures are not recorded, and recordings are always at instructors' discussion. So you would meet with your instructors and classmates weekly at scheduled dates and times in Pacific Standard Time. Your live participation is also part of the grading criteria in the courses. So outside of the course live sessions, you would interact with your instructors and your classmates via Canvas as well.
Thank you, Gary.
So we're gonna how are you gonna start? So you're gonna register for the program. So there's a non-refundable registration fee that you have to submit for $100. And with the program, it allows our registrar's office to track your records and as well as review your courses, make sure that you meet the letter grade of C or better in each course. And they will issue a certificate upon completion.
So let's talk about what our graduates going to do. So we have samples of their websites, right? Like we have people from all of different areas in the United States and also worldwide. People take our program from different time zones, right? And I know that's not easy, but those are student choices, and we welcome everyone that wants to take the program, and we support them along the way. So here are different websites, right, that these former students have. And so we're going to share the presentation with you. For instance, Daniel McWaters, she's the founder and CCO of DesignSake Studio. And this is, let me see what happened over here. Hold on. Let me do this one. This one, it's already open. Hold on. So I show you briefly this the Illustrator course. This is some branding. So you can see over here, like from sketches on the right-hand side to the final designs on the left-hand side. The color scheme of the brand, right? Like you have all the different values, And of course, you don't necessarily know what a hexadecimal number might mean today, but we will walk you through all of these different like code numbers and things like that that you're gonna be applying to your design. So here you can see the design of a business card, and then like how all those different elements, which is this hexagon shape, how does it get included as part of the shape of the photography, as you're saying over here, right? And that comes from the geodesic kind of like design that you're seeing over here in the yurt. So like with some variation, and then you can see that apply into cars, and then you can see it as part of the corporate identity. And then like all of the different aspects when it comes to brochures, you know, things of that nature. I'm gonna walk you through a different sample over here. Oops, Jessica. And here you can see, like, we encourage you to, like go to all of the different pages, because basically these are the portfolio that they're finishing the program with, right? So you can see here like the projects that they have worked on. So let's click on this one. This one, it's a wedding stationery, right? So like there's all these different like cohesive family members that you can see done with the same color scheme, the same typography, and so on and so forth, right? And so this is how you will end up your portfolio with solid projects like this. Here it's a packaging project, and Jessica designed to do this only with typography, nothing else, right? And so you can see like little aspects of design only done with typography. Here you can see three family members, right? Like side by side, different varieties, like Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Rosé, and then here you have Merlot, Pinot Noir, and Cabernet Sauvignon. And then you have the whole family here. This one, it's another project done with, like the integration of what I explained before, like typography and visual elements, right? Like in this case, there are illustrations. So you can see here the whole family. And when you see them side by side, or when you see them on display at the store, like everything lands on the same place. That's what like good branding and good packaging design help you achieve, right? That nothing moves. The moment that like 20 people go and enter the store, the design will exactly look the same, even if it's a different flavor, right? Because that helps distinguish that particular brand. So, like in packaging, we will talk about nutrition facts, we'll talk about like barcodes, what's necessary, and, like what's needed for the design, what goes on the front, what might go on the spines, and things of that nature. Right here, you see another sort of like website design, right, with the different brands. And here are like the different flat pages that eventually you will see then, like on a screen, because that's what web design is, like something that is flat that lays on a computer or on a phone or a tablet. And so let's go back over here. Um, let's talk about these different student testimonials. So I'm just gonna read the first one, and I'm gonna show you a short video, and then we'll be done. This entire graphic design program was extremely helpful. I ended up landing a graphic design job while in the middle of the portfolio class. Instructors gave me useful and direct feedback, and that was done by Megan. So again, we're gonna share this presentation with you, and so that you can like read and go to those different websites and whatnot. And we're gonna play this.
My name is Ankita Mantri Lahoti, and I am currently working as a graphic designer and marketing lead at a company called Two. And today I'm very happy to have found a job that lets me use my past experience in marketing, but putting together my technical skills from graphic design and doing work that I'm very happy at the end of the day to create. It started with InDesign, where I realized the value of layouts. Because until then, I always thought design was, illustrating or like doing Photoshop. But there was a new dimension to design for me. Oh, you can design using typefaces, you can design using just words. I think that opened my point of view to design problem, not looking at design just from a visual perspective, but actually solving a problem. I think my greatest benefit from this course was the portfolio. That is the first impression you're going to make while applying for a job. It not only communicates your design sense, but it also shows your design process. If you want to invest in yourself, take a few courses on this program, and you will see that there's a lot to learn. It's an interesting course to do. This is a great decision that I took, and it's helping me move towards a path where I feel like I want to be.
And I'm gonna click on this. We're gonna take just 2 more minutes. This is the direct link in our Voices blog to graphic design. So like this is live. You can type anything else. I'm just gonna walk you through this really quick so that you can see that it changes. Let's go back to your field of interest. And you have different articles that we encourage students to read and like learned a little bit more about the journeys of all these different students. We also have guest speakers, we have instructor articles so that you can have different points of view about the program. Here is side by side our schedule for the fall semester. Fridays, we don't offer courses. Our courses are in the evening, Monday through Friday, and also we have courses on Saturday mornings. And so you can see here like side by side what courses are on Monday, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And Saturday, the courses are 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., Monday through Thursday, 6 to 9 p.m.
So what's next? So as mentioned previously, you could submit an online registration to be officially in the program, and then enroll in your first course, Visual Design Principles. And I would also sign up for a monthly email, which is on a short form on the upper right hand corner on the website. And you'll get updates from our department with any new courses or any updates in the programs in general. And then you also get the latest design news in the industry. So all of the visuals in this presentation is also supplied by our students as well. So these are the credits. Do we have any more questions before we end our today's presentations? Or if you can think of any in the future, you can always email us. Or program inbox is extension dash graphic design at berkeley.edu. So our program inbox is extension dash graphic design at berkeley.edu. Ivan and I are managing that program inbox.
Thank you everybody for coming to know a little bit about our program. Gary and I are gonna be here for some time. So if you need to drop right now, that's totally fine. If you have any other questions, you can linger with us and we can answer your questions right away. Do we have anything in the Q&A, Gary?
No, no, I think we're good. We can close our presentation.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Take care for
Bye.
now. Bye-bye.